Have you ever met someone who just gets you in a way no one else does? Someone who seems to understand every word, every glance, every silent thought you're too afraid to say out loud? Now imagine that person is someone close, maybe even family, but not quite. What would you do if this connection defied all logic, blurred all boundaries? Today we're diving into Name's story, a story of forbidden love, guilt, and consequences that would shatter their world. It all began on a warm summer day. The smell of barbecue filled the air, kids were running around, and laughter echoed everywhere. But amidst the crowd, Name felt alone. Family gatherings weren't really their thing. A bit of a loner by nature, Name found comfort in being an observer, watching people without really engaging. That is, until they spotted a familiar face in the crowd, a face they hadn't seen in years. That was step-cousin's Name. Name's step-cousin, someone they hadn't thought much about before. They hadn't been close growing up, but something was different this time. Maybe it was the way step-cousin laughed, or the fact that they seemed just as out of place as Name felt. Without thinking, Name found themselves walking over to say hello. The conversation flowed surprisingly well. They laughed at the same silly things, shared the same sarcastic humor, and even bonded over their shared disdain for these big family events. What started as polite small talk quickly turned into a deeper, almost magnetic connection. After that day, things changed. Family gatherings became something Name actually looked forward to, knowing step-cousin would be there too. Over time, they began to feel like a team, allies against the chaos of family life. But slowly, something more began to stir between them, a tension neither wanted to admit. One night, while everyone else was fast asleep, Name found themselves alone with step-cousin. It was just the two of them, bathed in moonlight, as they talked about everything from their childhood dreams to their deepest fears. And then, there was a pause. A long, lingering silence that seemed to ask a question neither dared to voice. Their hands brushed accidentally, but neither pulled away. In that moment, it felt as if the universe was daring them to cross the line. The next morning, Name woke up with a pounding heart. Was it all just a dream? But when they looked at their phone, there was already a message waiting from step-cousin. A simple, "Hey, last night was different." And just like that, they both knew they weren't imagining things. From that point on, their connection became a secret, a hidden world shared only between the two of them. They would sneak glances across the room, find excuses to be alone, share stolen moments that made their hearts race. Their connection was intoxicating, a secret thrill that kept them both coming back, even as they told themselves it couldn't go any further. But as the months passed, resisting became impossible. One night, when they found themselves alone again, they finally let go. No more pretense, no more pretending it was just friendship. They crossed the line, and in that moment, nothing else mattered. The world outside seemed to fade away. But as quickly as it happened, reality came crashing down. They knew they had broken a taboo, and they both felt the weight of what they'd done. The connection that had felt so right only moments ago now felt like a secret that could destroy everything. The weight of their actions didn't stay secret for long. A family member eventually picked up on their closeness, and whispers started spreading. The family had always been tight-knit, and it didn't take long for the rumor to make its way through every branch of the family tree. In a matter of days, Name and step-cousin went from sharing quiet moments to becoming practically strangers. Family events became tense, with everyone seemingly watching their every move. The bond they had cherished now felt like a chain that held them both captive to shame and regret. After everything fell apart, Name was left wondering, was it love or just a dangerous fascination? And was it worth the price they paid? Name tried to move on, tried to forget those moments and return to normal life, but the memory of what they'd shared lingered like a ghost. In the end, Name realized they had to live with the choices they'd made. It's a story of love that should have never happened, a connection that was as beautiful as it was forbidden. Sometimes the heart doesn't play by the rules, and we're left with only questions. Was it fate or a mistake? What would you do in Name's shoes? Have you ever felt a connection that was impossible to ignore, even if it went against everything you believed? Tell us in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that uncover the raw, complicated truths about love and relationships.